All right. Well, we want to welcome everyone this morning. We appreciate you joining us on our 2020 Sales Summit, coming to you in a virtual format this time. So we appreciate everyone that could join us from around the country. We hope that you find this information beneficial to you and your sales practice, and we hope everyone is, of course, staying home and staying safe in this COVID epidemic. But we, again, appreciate you joining us, and we hope to share with you some very valuable information. Today's session is going to get into the SNP opportunities, so Medicare Advantage SNP opportunities, and more specifically talking about the dual SNP opportunities that are available in most states. We're also going to touch a little bit on the C-SNP and the I-SNP. And to do that today, we have with us Yvonne and Mark from our home office. These are two individuals that will be your points of contact for the SNP products for all carriers in all states. And these individuals are very well versed in these products, have worked with the Medicare Advantage products for many, many years, and assisted many agents around the country in getting started in these products, learning how to market themselves, how to sell to these products, and how to be successful in the not only Medicare Advantage space, but more specifically in the dual SNP space. So again, we thank you for joining us. Insurance Advisors Direct, we are a national FMO. If you want to know more information about us, we also have a session in this virtual sales summit that will talk in more detail about who Insurance Advisors Direct is. But ultimately, we are an FMO that takes a lot of pride and puts a lot of effort into supporting our agents, helping our agents with a multitude of products and carriers. We roughly have about 17 product lines, and we have about 40 carrier partners to support those. And ultimately, what we offer our agent partners across the country is our success system, which is our 7 pillars of success. So all benefits, all support, all technology, everything we bring to you is based on those 7 pillars of support. And this is something we've been doing for many, many years across all 50 states, working with thousands of independent agents. So we look forward to bringing you some value today, seeing the value that Insurance Advisors Direct can offer, and we hope to partner with you in the very near future. So again, thank you for joining us. These sessions will also be recorded. We invite you to join or visit our website at iadbrokerage.com, and also find us on YouTube. All of these recorded sessions, both virtual and live, will be placed into our YouTube page under Insurance Advisors Direct. So with that, why don't we go ahead and get into the meat of our presentation. As I mentioned to you, we have two of our sales managers with us today, Mark Covert, Yvonne Blanco, very well versed in the Medicare Advantage space, and more specifically to the dual SNP space. Here's some of their contact information. At the end of the presentation, we'll also have another slide with additional contact information. So we invite you to take note of this and to reach out to our team for more questions and to receive more information. So with that, again, we look forward to working with you. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Yvonne. Yvonne's going to get into more details about the SNP space, what products are involved in the SNP space, and what the true opportunity really is. And then Mark's going to follow that, getting into more of the sales tips, ideas, and just a very general SNP 101 type presentation. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Yvonne, if you'd like to go ahead and jump in.
All right, well, thank you, Jason. So my name is Yvonne, obviously, from IAD, and we're going to just go over what are special needs plans. There are 3 types of plans that CMS has categorized and approved nationwide. They may not be available in all states. For example, here in Michigan, we have 2 of the 3 where we do not offer an I-SNP, but other states may have that available. So in short, the terminology for D-SNP, as you can see, it's dual eligible special needs, I-SNP institutional special needs, and C-SNP chronic special needs. For your D-SNPs, in some states the D-SNPs do cover your Medicare cost. Of course, depending on the state and the individual's eligibility, that differs. So we do here at IAD have charts that specify those levels, and they will be provided in our upcoming intermediate DSNP training. So once you're contracted, we will provide those links and those documents to you on those specific levels for DSNP. On this slide, it'll give you an example of the Medicare and Medicaid cards. Here in Michigan is the green MI Health card. In the different states that you're in, they will look different depending if you have access or Medi-Cal, to name a few. Also know, depending on which state you're in, they provide benefit levels according to the population numbers and needs. So here is an example of how many people were eligible nationwide, which again may differ from state to state, and we can look into that specifically for your state. All you just got to do is contact us for more information. On your I-SNPs, I-SNP and C-SNP both have different set of qualifications and are also state-specific. So we have more advanced trainings that we will dive into this a little bit deeper, but just know that I-SNP may or may not be available in your state, and we can help navigate you through those specific plans. Again, here's your C-SNP. So a C-SNP individual would have one or more complex chronic conditions that is defined by CMS. There are 15 specific chronic conditions that fall into C-SNP. We do have a list in detail of those, and that will be available to our contracted agents in our DSNP sales kits. C-SNPs are also state-specific, and so you may or may not have them in your state. Now, who is eligible? So remember, DSNP individuals are also on Medicaid, which is simply determined by their levels of income. A C-SNP individual do have to have both your A and B and a Medicaid, plus a qualifying chronic condition certified by a physician. And then your I-SNP individual has to have, again, your both A and B, as well as the Medicaid, plus be institutionalized for 90 days or more. There may be different qualifications or additional qualifications that are state-specific, which we will get more into in depth in our upcoming trainings. So here are the terminology that's used to categorize the different levels of Medicaid, access, or Medi-Cal, depending on which state you're in. These basically correspond with their yearly income amounts. We have job aids that help agents in a glance know those levels, which is really helpful and is also provided for our contracted agents, and will also be discussed in depth in our upcoming trainings. Hopefully this was informative to kind of give you an idea of the different levels of the terminology. And with that, I'll go ahead and turn this over to Mark Colbert, and he will be going over the sales and marketing opportunities and how it's important for you to have these types of products in your portfolio. Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne, and welcome everybody. It's a pleasure to have everyone on board today. And with that, I want to kick off some sales and marketing ideas and take you through some slides here that may be of value to you. So with that, let's move forward and let's take a real good look here at what we have as an opportunity in the SNP market. And quite frankly, it's unlimited, and it's basically due that this market is very severely underserved right now. While SNPs have been around for a number of years, they continue to evolve. We continue to see growth in all the states with SNPs becoming more of an offering. And quite frankly, while we do have agents that work in this particular segment, there are simply not enough, and it offers you who may be looking for another stream of income or adding to your portfolio to up your production numbers. We certainly see this as an opportunity to do that. Note that this serves the dual population under 65 as well. So for those folks who may be on disability with Medicare A and B and may also have income restrictions that allow them access to the state Medicaid system, these people are available as well to serve. And we want you to know, too, that people are consistently being enrolled into this dual status realm. So on a continuous basis, monthly in a state, you can see that people are continuously being placed in the Medicaid system, and therefore it offers you an opportunity. And I think what really is amazing here is, unlike traditional Medicare Advantage plans, this is really typically a year-round opportunity. Although the rules have changed somewhat, we still basically have year-round access to these folks, especially those that are becoming newly eligible. And I would also point to you, as Yvonne pointed out, CSNP opportunities are available as well, and we certainly will address those in future trainings. And then if you look at the last 3-4 bullet points there, you're going to see there's a tremendous number of people. The example that's shown here is relative to the population eligibility in Michigan, and currently only about 6% of those folks are being served in the SNP arena. So you can do the math, and you can see that there's a large number of population eligible and certainly not being served at this point. I will say that call centers are doing what we call a shotgun approach to this. They are mailing folks, and they are trying to do telephonic enrollments. And remember, CMS does regulate these, and they have specific guidelines that they have to follow, and they've jumped through a lot of hoops to be able to do this. So the general agent is not going to be able to do this, but I want you to know this is literally what's going on right now. There's no boots on the ground, and that's why we feel this is a great opportunity and time for you to jump in here. And I think the last and final point I want to make here is the benefits are extremely rich in these plans. It's over and above what typical base Medicaid benefits offer. And the end result here is your clients end up accessing things that they may have not had an opportunity to do so before. So let's talk about sales here and some things that you're going to do or you're going to want to kind of do as you jump into this space. And this is kind of in order from a 1 to 5 here, but the first thing to do is identify in your community and the area that you may be working in resources that might be available or places where folks who may have some income challenges would be shopping and or looking. And once you accumulate that list, you're going to want to take some time as you're out on your normal sales day, or maybe you have built into your routine where you're out working one day on the streets, however that works for you. But you certainly want to stop in, introduce yourself, and see if you can get the decision maker engaged in a conversation and let them know that you have something out there that could be of value for folks who possess both these cards and would like to see if there might be an opportunity to get that information into their hands to see if it would be of a value. I think along with that, you need to educate these folks while you're speaking with them and explain exactly what these plans offer and how they can enhance the quality of life and potentially the care to the individuals that it's going to serve. And certainly when you're doing that, building that relationship with that particular decision maker is going to be key in moving forward here to increase and improve in your sales. Number 4 here, we want to engage these people at those locations, and that's simply because they're familiar with them. It's a comfort zone. And they also probably are very well known by the folks who work in or around these particular facilities, and there's a level of trust that's established, and therefore if they see you there with people that they have known and they trust, that kind of goes to you that they're going to obviously trust you as well. And then finally, very obviously, as with all Medicare Advantage programs and products, it's imperative that you make sure that the provider that these folks are utilizing for their healthcare services are contracted within the particular system. You're going to find as we move forward in the training, there's multiple plan options in some areas in multiple counties. So the idea here is that you may be able to place your client with a particular carrier and also verify that their particular physician is involved within that system, and therefore we know that the claims are going to get paid. So let's take a look here, and we're going to give you an example of exactly how this works for you and how this may grow your business. So we've created an example here where we've done a direct mail. We've sent out a 1,000-piece mailer, right? And we've got 50 of those mailers back, and along with that, we made a couple hundred calls, and we set 22 appointments, and out of those 22, we were able to close 10 sales. So we're utilizing right now the national average on commission here. So if we were to execute 10 new sales per month and enroll 10 folks in a DSNP, we're going to average about $5,100 per month. So averaging out over a 12-month period as you work through your sales cycle, we find at the end of the year we were able to close 100 new Medicare sales, which gave us a yearly income here of $51,000 per year. Okay, and remember, not every state is the same in comp, but this is, for the most part, the majority of the national average. So that's why we're utilizing this for the particular calculation here. So moving forward here, again, we keep making the monthly push here, or bi-monthly push, however it works in your system. And we get into year 2, and we see that all of our 100 people renewed for a second year. They like us, they like our plan, they like our benefits, and they stayed put. So remember, we have a new calculation for monthly commission payments from CMS. So at the end of 1 year, we would have $30,600 in renewal income coming to us, and if you look above, obviously that breaks down to about a $2,125 per month payday. So again, great income, and this is renewal only. And then we add to that, because we're continuing through our sales process, 100 new sales, and as we work through the year, we're able to develop that into another $51,000 in income. So between years 1 and 2, we have now cumulatively added $81,600 into our revenue stream, simply selling the DSNP products. So great income potential, and remember that SNP commissions are renewable for life as long as your client stays on your book. So a couple key sales points here, and we're not going to spend a lot of time here, but just a couple ideas here. And again, we'll dig into these a whole lot deeper in the upcoming trainings we're going to be conducting here. But really the two keys here are grassroots marketing and exceptional customer service. And it really comes down to this. You need to become a trusted source with these people. They are not generally served by agents and agencies. If you think about folks who have some income challenges and issues, it's not common for them to be being solicited by financial advisors, financial planners, insurance agents, and so on and so forth. So the goal here is to become a key contact and a trusted source here, because they're looking for somebody who can give them reliable information. And I think along with that, as you do this, and if you recall the slide before, we want you to go out there and do that grassroots marketing. We want you to get boots on the ground out there, locate these key access points, and by doing that, by injecting yourself into your community, as you move forth and become known as that go-to person, you are the one who is going to be getting those phone calls, and the referrals that come from that are really key in building a successful DSNP business. So a couple successful tips, right? So you've gone out, you've done the work, you've done the homework, you've been able to get boots on the ground, you've established some places, you've conducted some meetings with folks, and now these folks have written a piece of business with you, and this is really the key to solidifying that sale. And please, please, please make sure that when you deliver that policy or your client informs you that the policy showed up in the mail, give them a call, take the time to educate them and make them well informed, on their topics, right, that are going to impact their lives. Make sure that your clients understand their benefits, their plans, and how to access their health care. And then certainly if it is there, please discuss with your client organizations in the area that can help with their non-related healthcare needs, i.e. maybe a food pantry, somewhere they can access clothing, help with utilities. Those types of issues are something that they could certainly use maybe a referral source to if they're having some difficulty in those areas. And as you see at the bottom, the agent that provides the exceptional customer service is the agent that's going to be getting the continuous referrals. And with that, I want to turn this over to Jason. Jason, if you can let these folks know what we're going to be providing as we move forward with our series, it would certainly be appreciated.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Yvonne. Those were some great overview points from a what is special needs plans, and even some very basic 101 on how to get started, how to mine for these potential sales. So for attendees, we appreciate you being with us. Again, this is a very quick overview of those products. We have much more detailed and in-depth trainings, presentations, and tools that we'll be getting into. But as a simple free gift we'd like to offer for those of you who attended our A and B informational Medicare charts, as well as a detailed list of definitions for dual eligibles so you understand kind of the different levels of Medicaid, because there are certain levels that we need to identify for these plans. Some persons may fit with certain levels into certain plans, and the others may need to go into other programs. So you also need to understand that full list of dual levels, which we'll provide to you. Now, for those of you who get started, who are either contracted with us or who begin by getting contracted and ready to sell, again, we'll have additional aids, we'll have additional selling systems, we'll have our full sales and marketing system that you can have access to. There's a whole university series. There's additional upcoming trainings. Essentially, we have your basic, intermediate to more advanced training sessions and tools. So again, we have agents that have utilized these programs over the last few years who have done some Medicare business, some who have not done Medicare at all. But those agents today, through this system, through the training, through the support that we offer, are in some cases doing hundreds of these dual eligible or dual SNP enrollments on an annual basis. So tremendous tools. We invite you to take advantage of those. And again, those are a free gift to you for attending and for those of you who then move forward in getting contracted and ready to sell. All right, just to wrap up here, some of the things we have coming up, as I mentioned, this was really just designed to kind of give you an introduction and a 101 to what are the SNP products. And Mark was able to, again, develop some sales ideas or some tips, some very basic tips, but there's a whole lot more that goes into getting started in this industry, becoming educated on these products, knowing how to and where to go to find those prospects. Those are all things that we help introduce to agents. We'll help walk you through those step by step. We have the presentations, we have the products. We can educate you on which plans are more effective in certain counties. Again, these are on a county by county basis. So certainly utilize our team and our resources to help get you started. But those are some of the upcoming trainings and immersion programs and presentations and materials that we'll be offering in the very near future. So if you're on this, you'll see future invites for those. We invite you to attend, whether they're a virtual setup like this, or in many cases we're traveling the country. Once we're able to get back out on the road, we hope to see you face to face and also offer some of the same guidance and direction and training. So that's what's coming up. And it looks like what we have to wrap up is just a few questions. Now, here were a couple of the kind of more frequently asked questions from our team, but we may also have some other questions. We do have a few minutes to discuss these, so why don't we get into these questions, and I'll just kind of walk through these, and the three of us can kind of all just participate. So the question here that we get frequently is, how do I get started with these products? Mark, Yvonne, you want to jump in there?
Sure, Jason. Really, it's a very simple process. Just simply reach out to IAD if you're new to the DSNP world. We need to have a conversation about where you're located and what opportunities may be available in your area, and we can certainly get some contracting started towards you. And once we get you contracted and up and running, we can offer you additional information in terms of marketing scripts, phone calling, ideas to solicit business. And again, Jason, if they stick with us through our series here, they're going to have access to all of those ideas, and we'll walk them through on what it's going to take to be a successful agent here. And we certainly have a number of examples of people who have done that and are doing very well in the space.
I just
Absolutely.
want to add that there are some simple steps of contracting. We guide agents through that. There are specific certifications to sell the DSNPs, obviously, but also you will need your AHIP certification for those.
Okay, great. And some of the other key factors, which we didn't get into too much detail to get started in this, obviously you need to know who to go talk to. So we can help work with you on who is your audience, who do you talk to, how do you get in front of those people. Mark just briefly skimmed the surface of how we market to the population that fits into these products, and there's a whole host of things you can do, much different than other Medicare plans and how you market. Sure, there's some of those traditional ways of marketing, but we work with you, we work with the community outreach people, with the carriers. We have some of our own facilities and locations, depending on that market area, but we will help get you into those facilities, we'll help get you into those places where these people congregate, food banks, churches. There's a whole list that we'll go through with you and essentially help guide you to those places so that you can be in front of that audience and, again, better equipped and more ready to sell to a larger audience. So I think we've thoroughly covered that one. One of the other ones that Yvonne already spoke to is, do I need AHIP certification? Well, it does depend on the carrier, but yes, you do have to have a Medicare certification. So in most cases, what's more widely accepted is the AHIP certification, which we can help work with you on. But there may be other certifications such as Foreman or Pinpoint that may be accepted by certain carriers, but again, you'd want to talk to our team about those requirements as well. Third question is, IAD still providing reimbursement? Yes, we do assist our agents with both marketing co-op dollars, getting you into those facilities and locations to do presentations, and one of the other things we also help with is your AHIP certification. So there's a cost for those certifications, and essentially we as a company help to reimburse you on those costs if you're appointed with us. Does IAD provide any leads? I think we kind of in a roundabout way spoke to this. We do have a number of lead programs. We have a number of lead co-op programs, and we have a number more specific to the dual SNP space. Again, there's a lot of places where you can go to develop both a referral source, where you can develop more leads. And yes, we will help provide those locations and places to you, and we'll also help to you to develop your lead generation program. Yvonne, Mark, do you have anything to add to those?
No, Jason,
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
No, Jason, I think we've got a very robust program in place. And again, you mentioned that we do have access to some internal facilities and some other programs that others may not. So again, an ideal opportunity to have a conversation with us for us to be able to put you in a position to be very successful.
I just wanted to add that we can provide, leads, but we also provide agents to be able to have the right business card, the right marketing piece in order to promote themselves and to get that referral business once they're out in the community. So that is something that I think is a high point, that IAD does help agents develop something for them to market themselves as well.
Yeah, that's a great point, Yvonne. We do have a whole marketing team, graphics department, website, social media team that you as agents have access to. That is not at an additional cost. That's for being appointed with us. We help design letters, postcards, websites, a whole host of marketing benefits that you can tap into with our team. So that's a great point. Does IAD offer support? Of course, we've talked a little bit about the support both today and also what future support and trainings are coming. So we're very hands-on with our agents. Our model that you'll find when you start working with us is we're there every step of the way. Our motto is to simplify your success. And a lot of our stuff is even being put into more of a virtual on-demand type access. So you can go to our website. You'll be able to actually see videos. You'll be able to learn firsthand from successful producers, from some of our internal team. We've all made a living being in the field selling these products. So kind of a whole virtual video training system that will be up. And again, those are being created for any and all of our core product lines, that we offer to agents. Does IAD currently have any success stories? I think we've got probably lists and lists of success stories. Anyone in particular that Mark, you or Yvonne would like to highlight here?
I can actually give you a new success story, Jason, and I think it speaks to what we're talking about today and the opportunity that exists out there. And this was not the typical DSNP agent. This agent was working what I would call the traditional market, both in Medicare supplement, other ancillary type products, annuities, prescription drug plans. And by default, through some of his clients, when plans became available in his area, he gave me a phone call one day. We talked about this, gave him an overview of what was out there and the opportunity that was there. And subsequently, this agent, within just the last couple months, has written 6 of these plans. So it shows you that regardless of where you're positioned currently, these opportunities exist. They exist on a daily basis, and we were able to get this agent segued over, get him the training that he needed, and now he's got 6 more clients, and he is now starting to actually work DSNP campaigns and is doing some of the things that we're going to talk about in the intermediate and advanced training, and he's becoming very successful at it.
Great. Excellent. And again, that's just a nice example of something more recent. And again, it's not the case. Not every agent gets into this and dedicates 100% of their time. This is a Medicare agent that was already doing Medicare business, but we help understand this market. They feel more comfortable now that they've done it a few times, and we've been with them every step of the way on each of those cases. And now they've uncovered a way that they could add a few new sales to their income stream on maybe a monthly basis. So again, that's one light example. I know on a heavier example, over the last couple of years, I've worked with some agents who were previously Medicare agents, so they were more Medicare supplement agents, but really started to find that there was a huge population, which Yvonne talked about earlier. There's a huge population of people that don't know these plans exist, and they don't know how they can truly benefit them. And so they've tapped into those markets. They became a great resource for those people. Those people became their centers of influence. They became their referral source. That got them into certain low-income housing areas. That got them into other places. And now they routinely write, and this has probably taken over and become a majority of their business, but I know some of those agents who write 30 or 40 of these on a monthly basis and just continue to do so, and most of that business has become referral business.
To add to that, Jason, as agents can, become that 360 agent for individuals and have that DSNP product in their tool belt, they're not leaving people that are in, like that has been referred to them, maybe family members that they have helped and they know another family member that is dual eligible, that broker can actually extend the hand to them and just grow their own book of business. but it's also money that's just not being left on the table for these brokers that are already, working, diligently to create that book of business. So it's just having that agent be well-versed, have that 360, wheelhouse on all these products that they can obviously get through IAD and get that support and training.
Yeah, perfect. And again, if you think about if you're either looking at getting into the Medicare space, which we highly encourage you to do, it's a tremendous opportunity. It's a huge market. And I've been involved in Medicare products for 23 years. Mark, you've been the same, and Yvonne, you for many years. And it's just a growing market. If you have clients, no doubt many of them are aging into this space, and every single one of them kind of fits into their own category. And traditionally, we see there's about 4 main categories within the Medicare sales space. We've got group plans, which we also do, group Medicare. We have individual plans on the Medicare Advantage side, on the Medicare supplement side, and then there's that 4th category, which is the lower income portion of the population. So if you're either working in this space or you're getting more involved in this space, these are plans that you're going to want to be familiar with and have access to be able to speak to all of the different needs of that client, that senior population. And again, we can help certainly get you equipped, trained, and feel confident working with these products. So again, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Yvonne. I think we've covered this thoroughly, but yet tried to kind of make this more of a basic introduction to this opportunity and both what this market is, how you can get into it, and then how IAD can advance you and make you successful there. So we hope that you reach out to us. We hope we have an opportunity to partner and show you both the carriers and products that make sense, but also how we can better equip you to be successful here. So I think that wraps it up. Mark, Yvonne, do you have anything to add before we conclude?
Just thank you, and hope we hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely, Jason. And I'd just like to say, for those of you watching today or those of you that may be watching in the near future, please reach out to us, get contracted, watch your inbox for invites as we're going to continue to move the series forward, and we're going to put the tools and all of the ancillary things that you're going to need to be successful in this space, and we're certainly happy to do that. We look forward to seeing you.
Ditto.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Yvonne, I'm sorry, do you have something to add?
No, I just said ditto to what Mark said, but thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you, everyone, again. We hope everyone's staying safe, and we look forward to talking to you in the very near future, and we look forward to working with you. So have a great rest of your day.